Controversial Revisions by Tim Chewins. For my revisions, I chose to focus on topics that had some sort of controversy surrounding them. This made my research and topic development more easy to do. My first revision was of my review. Initially, I wrote about how magic has affected my life, and I wrote about some of the rules. In the picture, you can see my friend. We were playing in some grimy, dark, damp basement. It was cold, and there was even a toilet sitting in the corner. The point is that you can have fun playing magic wherever you are. That's the beauty of the game. When I revised this paper, I added information about the history of magic. In the beginning of magic's history, the art style was much different. As you can see, some of the art depicted semi-explicit nudity, and some had demonic symbols such as the pentagram in the background. These images led to an outrage amongst some of the parents, but mostly it was the religious parents that didn't want their kids playing with the devil's toys. These outcries actually got the developers of the game to change some of the art of the old cards just to appease the parents. My reflection was the second paper I revised. Initially, I wrote about diversity in my life. When I revised it, I added information about how diversity has affected the education system, specifically discussing affirmative action. Affirmative action is essentially a way to level the playing field for minorities applying to college. The thought process behind it is that they have had a more harsh life than white people, and they can use the extra help with college applications. There are several sides to this argument, but I took a different perspective. I said that this enforced diversity might be an attempt to make entire student populations smarter. Catherine Phillips said that diversity makes us smarter, and she had proof to back it up. For my review, I already knew what kinds of revisions I was going to add. All I had to do was find some source material to back me up. This proved to be quite difficult because there wasn't a lot of information about the early days of magic. I knew most of my information based off of people I know that played back in the day. I ended up settling for a Wikipedia article and some YouTube videos. These sources are clearly not ideal, but it's what I had to work with. But for my reflection, there's a lot more source material. Finding research material for affirmative action was easy. The only trouble was coming up with an idea. I had no clue what to write about at first, but after I googled diversity and education, I found a plethora of really solid articles about affirmative action. After I knew what I was going to write about, finding the sources was easy. I used an interview of a person that wrote about the book that argued against affirmative action. Using controversy as the theme for my research was a good decision. Controversial topics naturally are going to have two opposing arguments. This means that there is going to be a lot of source material to use, and that research aspect of this assignment would be much easier.